What's happening for him? So, it seems like it's the time of year that my ADHD selects a new hyperfixation. Transformers is something that needs no introduction to seemingly most people, but it, however, needed an introduction to me. I did not know much past Optimus Prime being a guy who existed until about a month ago, and it seems like everyone I know has been eager to tell me more. I had people begging me to watch Transformers 1 before I even had shown any interest, and it looks like the PSYOP worked because it's all I think about now. What finally got me was seeing a bunch of fan art loosely based on the Kotobukiya Bishojo figures. I realized I like Megatron. I really like Megatron.
Folks, these robots are hot.
I felt bad liking all of these posts, even though I didn't even go there. So I agreed to watch Transformers 1 with my girlfriend. But the one problem, we're both busy bitches, so it took like a week. In that time, I was fed propaganda by both my friends and the universe via internet algorithms. This is the stuff they deemed important for me to know before entering Transformers. Number 0, everyone is a Transformers fan. This may be an exaggeration, but it was really starting to feel like that. A ton of people, even a bunch of people I didn't know were into it, started DMing me Transformers stuff. I literally overheard customers at the store I work at talking about the movie a few times. Even my own coworkers had taken the pill. I have this one coworker who's this dude who's old enough to be my dad. His name's Terry. I mentioned I was going to watch it to him, and he got so excited. And he was telling me how much he loved it. And he specifically mentioned something about a GoBots reference that really got him excited. I have absolutely no idea what he's talking about. Don't get me wrong, I love that for him. I'm sure it was a similar experience to when they put the Horde slime pit in She-Ra 2018, because that had me hooting and hollering. 0.5. The Transformers Wiki Shadow Cabal. This is something I actually knew about for a few years because someone I know has had many altercations with them. I don't know if I should be bringing this up in a video because this could jeopardize my safety. This is all I'm going to say on the matter. Number 1. The first thing I figured out about Transformers is that Shockwave and Soundwave are two different guys. This was when it was clear to many people. I had no fucking idea what was going on. I remember asking my GF to help me identify characters in the Yuriformers fan art we were sending back and forth to each other, and being confused that there were two waves. Which, I mean, doesn't seem to be that uncommon of, a mistake, because they even made a bit about this in the movie, so I'm not completely insane. After consulting friend of the show Kyo, it was explained to me that Shockwave is the one with massive honkers. I've figured out since I've finally started, actively engaging with Transformers, this is like the number one most common fandom in joke, but like, I'm glad that's not a human, cause God, my back hurts looking at that guy. And then Shockwave has these like dudes coming out of his chest. I think he's like a single dad or something. I don't know. What matters is I will not make this mistake again. Number 2, Optimus Prime is Orion Pax. This was a major point of the movie, but I found this out via my good pals Zepp and Cody from the Daft Brothers. For those of you who don't know, we stream every White Girl Wednesday and Fujoshi Friday on twitch.tv/SuperDaftBros. This ended up being a stream opener discussion we had one day, and this is also how I learned D16 is Megatron.
I literally just found out today Shockwave and Soundwave are two different fucking guys. How do you think I would know this?
Megatron
That
was
is
named
true. That is true.
D17 after her cup size.
This is
Okay, that's an up top.
Okay.
Up top.
All right,
Oh.
all right.
Number 3, there is something gay going on. Can love bloom on the battlefield? The answer is often yes, and this was one of the many things that intrigued me.
You
As
know,
you
like
could
the
go
difference
to-
between like a Decepticon and an Autobot, right?
The Autobots are the good guys, and Decepticons have like a toxic polycule going on based off of the Yuri I keep seeing.
Yep. So I'm glad you said they're not the bad guys.
As I previously mentioned, I need Megatron. And I enjoy seeing Megatron in homoerotic situations. You may expect me to be all over the Megop hype train, but you would be sorely mistaken. I was instantly drawn towards Decepticon Yuri. It was this one specific image that like did it in for me. It was the 4 main Decepticons that were in the movie with Megatron on a throne and Starscream posed up on her legs. I just had to know what was going on at that point. Now, I have consumed more Transformers media, and I do have a list of ships now. If you told me like a year ago that I would become a Transformers Fujoshi, I would 100% believe you that that's like completely in character for me. Look, Megahop is fine. I respect it, but I prefer my Yuri more toxic than Doomed. I'm a simple woman. Draw Megatron and Starscream as human women, and I owe you my life. Hell, they don't even have to be human. My GF and I have traded a lot of Megastar art we found, and it's been awesome. I also got compared to Starscream a few times, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. Number 4, lesbians love Megatron. This may just be a coincidence, but I seem to be far from the only lesbian who is a big Decepticon fan. I don't know what it is. If you're also a lesbian who likes Megatron, feel free to pitch your theories in the comments below. He's just like so cool though. Like, I feel like that video of that one dude reacting to the Grinch for the first time when I see him. Then just like, Megatron could easily be a butch, right? That's a butch. Number 5, the DSM-5 for robots. I had a friend tell me about that one Transformers therapist because they're a huge fan of this guy. But I have been fascinated by the general concept of the Transformers therapists. It does make sense. They're all war veterans. They gotta have some crazy PTSD. I've never been to war, but I do freak the hell out when I see a white Subaru Forester, so I get it.
Cons! No! Mom!
I am, however, haunted by the existence of Freud. That pun is too fucking good. Like, I'm mad it isn't a bit I came up with. Bravo. Hi, quick update while I'm editing. While in the process of editing this video, friend of the channel, Jane, has informed me of Freud's hamster, so shout out to that guy. There are bits and pieces of random other info, I was told, but those things didn't stick out to me as much as these did. Then it was finally time for me to watch the movie. I understand why everyone was up my ass now. I love it when toy cartoons are good, and that was pretty solid. It's shocking I had never watched any Transformers as a child, because I was the type of kid who regularly put my Barbies to war. I had this on the back of my mind the entire time, because I had played out very similar scenarios to the execution of Sentinel Prime, and it was so awesome. I'm glad toy companies are on the pulse of the bloodlust against authority figures kids have. I mainly judge these types of things based upon, like, would I enjoy it watching as a child, right? And I feel like I would have for this, except for the one major issue. I don't know if I would have been brave enough to watch it. That's not me saying I think it would be scary or anything. You see, the main reason I lacked so much basic knowledge of the franchise was because I avoided many things you would typically see in the boys' toy aisle. I wouldn't set foot outside the doll aisle until I was around 15, maybe. I had a few exceptions, like I'd watch Power Rangers sometimes, but they always had the Pink Ranger. Transformers has characters like Aelita and Arcee, but nobody told me they existed. Kids are goofy. They believe in cooties sometimes. I love the 2007 Ninja Turtles movie, but I know I never would have likely seen it if it wasn't shown to me in a daycare group. I would have loved Transformers 1, but I can't picture myself asking to go see it as a kid. I like to hope this is less of an issue now. Make sure you tell your kids it's perfectly fine to like My Little Pony and Transformers. Actually, that might get expensive pretty fast, so be careful. On that note, I just want to mention how much I adore Aelita real quick. You know she'd be running that McDonald's like it's the Navy, and I love that for her. I'm sure there's a certain type of dude who got pissed off whenever she said, "I'm better than you," but she's real for that. People are sick of the girl boss character archetype, but in a world where Princess Peach can't even be confident without dumbasses on Twitter getting scared, I welcome Aelita with open arms. She's my best friend now. I know I said earlier I wasn't super into Mega before, but I definitely understand why it's one of the top ships in the Tumblr rankings right now. It's like Catradora Bad End. It's pretty juicy. If nothing ever happened, they'd just be guys being dudes. Something obviously had to happen though, given the state of the society they lived in. The ending of the movie was one thing my GF and I debated after viewing. It's hard to see Megatron as the bad guy, honestly. I know that's obviously the point. The Decepticons here are morally gray because it's a very, like, complex situation the characters have found themselves in. I don't really think there's a way they could have avoided killing Sentinel, though. If they really wanted any serious change, they had to get rid of him. I've seen tweets arguing that it wasn't necessarily the killing of Sentinel that was the problem, but more like the brutality of the act, which I could kind of see. Because that was like straight up a live leak execution. I don't really get the vibes that would make the Decepticons go like full total supervillain mode. Like, that seems to be what they are throughout much of the rest of the franchise. I guess this is something we would explore more in a potential Transformers 2. And also, I've gathered there's so many different adaptations of Transformers. There's probably a ton of different interpretations for these guys and a lot of different directions these characters have been taken. So, really, who knows? So, is this the end of my Transformers journey until Transformers 2? Absolutely not. Mostly because I hate Hasbro and I don't trust them to give us anything good anytime soon. This seems like a fluke that they put this movie out. I've been good, Hasbro. Please be nice to me for once. Please let me have nice things. Please make the Beyblade movie already. I've asked people for suggestions on where to go from here, and I got a ton of different responses. It seems like, everyone has their own vastly different favorite installment of Transformers, and that's kind of my favorite type of franchise because you could get so many different results from it. I ended up landing on Transformers Prime. I ended up watching season 1 in the matter of 2 days. And I'm currently on season 2 at the time I'm making this video. I'm hooked. I remember seeing like bits and pieces of it on Tumblr back in the day, and I never really thought much of it, but now I kind of regret not checking it out sooner. Miko is like a daughter to me, And I'm like really obsessed with whatever Bulkhead and Wheeljack have going on.
So who's the boyfriend?
Me and Jackie go way back.
I do fuck with Knockout and Breakdown before anybody asks.
Sweet rims, 24 gauge. You're real heavy duty, just like my friend here.
Yes, right. You're one of those.
Come again.
And I think most of all, like Starscream and Soundwave, God, they're so fucking cunty. Like Starscream, I feel like back in the day, you'd be making sexy, naughty, bitchy me AMVs with this guy. You'd be making prima donna girl AMVs with this guy. He kind of rocks. It seems like I may be here for a while, though. We'll see. I'm figuring out a list of where to go from here based off of various friend suggestions, so feel free to add to that list if you want to. Yeah, that's basically it for now. A general channel update. I have a few other scripts I'm procrastinating on right now, but I promise to have at least one more longer video out by the end of the year. Like and subscribe or whatever the hell you're supposed to say. See ya.